Hello everyone, and welcome to Divine Debut 11. This is Kathy speaking. Thank you for joining us here on the Messenger that we usually do on every Tuesday. Today is the 5th of May of 2026. Thank you for joining us here. Thank you for your comments, your love, your loyalty, your support. A big special thank you to our patrons. Okay, looking at the astrology a little bit. Just for a moment, we'll be looking at that, but we'll be taking also the mythic oracle, which we haven't taken for a while. We will be using the spellcasters tarot, the modern spellcasters tarot, for our energy read, and we'll be looking at the mystic moon oracles. But just looking at the astrology, just looking at the bigger picture. Let's say here it is, just to help you follow. Here is Jupiter squaring off to Mars. Okay, we know Jupiter is the truth, that it's all about seeing the bigger picture, right? It's all about abundance and expansion. Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, and we've got a square, which is a challenging aspect, over to Mars. He's at home in Aries, right? There's plenty of drive. You could be dealing with a project. There's something that you're wanting to manifest. There's keen initiative and lots of drive. Possibly also good news today on initiating something that could give you emotional, financial security. Whatever it is that you're beginning, right? It could be any news pertaining to travel or to studies. This is a time to step into action, right? It could be lots of confidence relating to success, but the danger is just don't go overboard and don't be too rash or even stubborn. If someone is advising you that, hold your horses a little bit, don't get over enthusiastic, overexcited. Just take care. Okay, because Jupiter is the planet of he will expand on everything he touches on, and he's in a strong position, as is Mars. But a square is a negative aspect. It's a challenging one. So just don't go overboard, okay? Because Jupiter's enthusiasm relative to Mars can just go over the top. All right, what else is important here? It's Mercury and Pluto. They're in a square as well. Mercury from Taurus. Happy birthday, my beautiful Taurians. So Mercury's slow, right, in Taurus. He needs to be safe and secure. He won't move. He won't budge unless there's something of security, something that he needs to be feeling safe with, right? Whether it's finances, self-worth, matters pertaining to Venus, right? And Venus is in Gemini. It's interesting because Mercury is in the sign of Venus and Venus is in the sign of Mercury. So there's a good reception between the two relative to how we talk, how we think, how we communicate. Right? But Mercury seeks stability, right? Whether it's financial, emotional, where our resources are concerned and the way we feel that we're valued or not. But there's a square over to Pluto, and a square is never easy, right? So Mercury is communication and Pluto is change. It's got a lot to do with our stability, right? Because we're talking about Mercury in Taurus, fixed Earth, which is our security. And Pluto in Aquarius, seeing the bigger picture. Who are we connecting with? Right? Aquarius is the natural 11th house of friendships, people, the tribe that we connect with, how we see things from an elevated point of view. How can we move towards the future, but through a metamorphosis? Pluto is about change. Pluto is power. And seeing the bigger picture, because Mercury is the left side of the brain. Aquarius is Uranus ruled, right? So can we bring in logic and also being able to work with that bigger picture, right? Connecting to the divine, our higher self. There could be a battle between logic and what our higher self is telling us. What news, what synchronicities and signs we're receiving from spirit, right? This could be a penetrating conversation. Someone may challenge your thinking or your, the way you communicate. There could be revelations and truths that come hard, or even information or news. Could be challenging to hear. Any secrets that are revealed may be a little bit disturbing today. Now, just going back to Jupiter and Mars, they actually conjoined, they came together at the early degrees of Cancer, right? And that happened back in August of 2024. So it's been a while since this seed was planted, right, at the early degrees of Cancer. Very significant for the cardinal signs, Cancer, Capricorn, Libra, and Aries, if you've got placements at the early degrees of those signs. Also, Pluto and Mercury, they did conjoin. That seed was planted on 22nd of January of 2026, and that happened at the 3rd degree of Aquarius. So again, affecting the early degrees of the fixed signs. Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, and Scorpio. See if you've got any placements, any of your important angles there, right? Your ascendant, descendant, your IC, or your MC. Let's see, relative to the tarot now, because we're reading the energies, right? As above, so below. So what's going on in the sky in the astrology, of course, is going to come through in the tarot. That's why I like to blend both, and we do offer deluxe readings on our channel that are a mix of some astrology and tarot. So let's see what's going on today as the moon is at the last degrees of Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a Jupiterian sign, right? It's a mutable fire sign, but we're heading towards moon ingressing into Capricorn. So we're needing to get down to business, be more emotionally mature and get a little bit more, how can I say it, grounded, instead of just being over the top, too optimistic, too positive thinking, because sometimes we need to take care, right? That's what Sagittarius is. Sagittarius is sometimes going overboard with optimism and, this is my truth and this is what's going to happen. We need to be more grounded, right, at this time. Let's see what's going on. And we've got the Wheel of Fate. It did come out in the reverse. That's how I took it. There's something about the wheel looking downwards, right? Feeling a sense of a lack of optimism, right? Hoping that this Wheel of Fate, fate and destiny will change for us. Maybe we've had a bout of bad luck, of things not working out, a little bit of pessimism. But as the wheel is looking down, let's say, it's only a matter of time before it starts to change and look upwards. To me, a Wheel of Fate that's come out in the reverse would say that we're still in the hermit mode, and the hermit is quiet, going internal, looking for that inner light, looking for information, looking for guidance, whether through your higher self or an astrologer, tarot reader, a guru, a teacher. Okay, the hermit is Virgo, and Virgo is where the south node is. There's something you're still needing to release so that you could move towards that north node in Pisces. But you need to hold on to your beliefs, possibly also change where your beliefs are concerned. Because, Sagittarius, the negative side, the shadow side of Sag is just going overboard or being very dogmatic on this is what I believe and this is what is the truth. And wearing those blinders. So maybe we need to have a more expanded overview, open view of, what we need to change. Remember, Sagittarius is the 9th house. Could be concerning our beliefs, anything to do with seeing the bigger picture, foreign distant lands, your truth versus the reality, anything legal. Ninth house, remember, it's the house of being out there, being seen. Ninth house is the house of our beliefs and divinity and anything to do with wisdom, higher education, expanding our horizons. Let's see what's going on, because something's not working out relative to these matters. Let's see what's coming through. Thank you, Spirit. We've got the Magician. Mercury. This would be Gemini or a Virgo. We did say Mercury squaring Pluto. And remember that Mercury, Hermes, was the god that would transition with souls that were leaving this 3D life and taking them into the, helping them transition through the underworld, right? Dealings with Pluto. Mercury and Pluto, they do get along. And squares are never easy, but they, having the Magician here, this is an ace. And you see that the information is coming like lightning from above, as above, so below. And this is the help coming from, energetically from above for us, and what information we need to work through, understand. We see the snake here, which is very Plutonian, right? So there's something to do with change, even though it may not be easy, but Spirit is saying that you've got all the tools, you've got the logic, you've got the ability to make magic here and start this new beginning. But there's something that you need to not fear looking into, receiving the understanding of what was hidden. Remember, Pluto is also the psyche. So things coming up from our soul, whether it's hurt, past wounding, things that we just want to shove down into those depths of our soul and not wanting to look at. There's the Hermit. So yeah, this is about going within. And through quiet, through a lack of communication, through a lack of collaboration, someone is seeing the truth, right? Someone is seeing the light. And we're talking about two major arcana. A lot of mutable. We've got Sagittarius, we've got Gemini, we've got Virgo. A lot of mutable energy, which speaks to change. Wow. And we've got another major arcana card, the Devil. Capricorn comes through, but it's got a lot to do with those blockages, those limitations, anything karmic that we've been dealing with, anything that was really tough, and we needed to release, because the Devil could speak to fears, those fears within the soul, within the psyche. Something is just too hard. I don't know if I can get to that summit, the summit of the mountain. It seems too hard. But Capricorn is all about, continuing to move through, to climb that mountain, to accomplish what you've been tested by. Now, Capricorn naturally rules the 10th house of career, your goals, your aspiration, your reputation, anything that you're trying to manifest and attain, becoming the elder, continuing to do the work, even if it feels really, really hard physically on you. And remember that the Devil could speak to addictions. Virgo speaks to the health. So any bad health, bad habits that are affecting our health, the way we think, the way we communicate, the way we perceive things. Remember, Virgo is where the South Node is. So again, that speaks to discerning taking, putting one foot in front of the other, whatever has been really hard that you've been facing. Pluto, remember, is about change. Pluto is also going deep. Going deep, and Pluto can speak to riches, finances as well. Mercury squaring Pluto could also be anything to do with shifts, changes, necessary action that's taken where you've had challenges, right? Mercury's business, it's agreements. And Pluto is riches or change or needing to dealing with important people, information, digging deep, going beneath the surface, trying to understand how to make changes. Remember that Juno is also right next to Pluto, and Juno is also commitments, whether it's with a group of people, because we're talking about Aquarius, a group of people, people that you affiliate with, anything to do with the internet, anything internet based, anything connecting to communication, perception, information. So let's see what else is coming through. Well, another major arcana. This is incredible. This is Venus. So we've got Mercury, we've got Venus. As I said, they're in each other's houses. So the Empress does speak to power. It speaks to someone knowing their worth and their value. Venus in the sign of Mercury. There's potential here. There is truly potential. Through patience, you can manifest abundance. As long as you know your self-worth, she's very powerful. She knows that she's good enough, right? To expand, to grow through patience and through knowing one's self-worth and knowing that the power is from within, right? Sweet talking in a kind, nurturing, compassionate, and also intelligent way. Wherever there is trouble here, because we see trouble, even though we've seen Venus connecting well to Saturn, it feels like something that was hard to break open. You could see Venus here. She's recently connected with Saturn. Right, Saturn is the ruling planet of Capricorn. This is like needing to be grounded, intelligent, finding an intelligent way to surpass any difficulties, challenges, but also to be patient where what it is that you're trying to build is concerned. Is it a relationship? Is it someone that all they do is work? Is it someone that's out of your, how can I say it? Out of your league. Something really high that you're trying to manifest, to reach. You need to trust in your higher self and trust in your value and your abilities here. And I see that you've got the opportunities to do this, but you need to be patient. It's like you're going through a testing moment. And the moon, oh my God, another major. And we've got the Two of Wands. It's going to, whatever's going on and whatever will be shown to you, because we've got the moon, and the moon is Cancer, it's Pisces. We've just gone through a full moon in Scorpio, and we're heading towards a new moon in Taurus. So a lot to do with self-worth, values, money that you own, your finances, your money in the bank, versus money coming through from other sources, shared with others, money owed, money due, loans, wills, inheritances. All these themes are coming up here because remember, we're in between a full moon in Scorpio and a new moon in Taurus. they're the second and eighth natural houses, which do speak to security, but also feeling valued, feeling worthy, right, of abundance. And possibly there could be information that's hard to reach, but Spirit is saying keep on moving, keep knowing that you can overcome those blockages, overcome those secrets. Or I mean, you've got the power right now, and that will lead you on to some sort of a dilemma. It feels like there are blockages here because there are adjustments, or there are choices that need to be made here. And it feels as though you're not allowed to walk through that portal unless you know your worth, unless you go and dig deep, go within, overcome those fears of not being worthy, of not being valued. I do feel, for me, it's the Empress that's coming through very strongly. That's what I'm getting here. And we see the Five of Pentacles here as well, which is like not feeling worthy, not feeling safe and secure financially. It feels like, because fives are about change, right? Pentacles, two people that are looking for solace between each other, but the way the energies are playing out, and the wheel of fate in the reverse, it feels like even it feels like we're being so challenged at this time, because we come into this world alone and we leave this world alone. So it feels like at some point the testing moment is so challenging here. It feels like even your last resort of support has let you down, or they've got their own fires to put out. So it feels like a sense of loneliness, and that I'm challenged, I'm tested, I'm alone, and I need to face my test, and whatever I'm going through right now, face it and fight it alone. That there is a lack of support here. That's what I'm getting here. So it feels like the most potent test of all right now here, and that there is no support. It feels like you're screaming out for help and no one can hear you. You're in a vacuum, right? In a vacuum where you're not being heard. It's like a moment of pause, a moment of being in a vacuum, a black hole. And you need to go through this alone, like time is stopping for you. Yeah, so you're in a moment of like feeling like time has totally stopped. Okay. What is this Five of Pentacles sitting on? It's sitting on the Three of Pentacles, which is in the reverse. And logically, we're not reading reversals here. So it will go back to the Two of Pentacles. It feels like things are up in the air. There's no support. And that you're juggling two things, two situations. You're doing everything. It's like the straw that broke the camel's back. I can't do this anymore. But there is news coming in. You see the little bird here. News is coming in. This is support. This is information. As I said, Mercury squaring Pluto, that's not coming in an easy way. Whatever comes in will find you get untied. I feel that even though the news may not be easy, it will break those shackles that have been holding you back from moving forward in a particular situation that's playing out for you and in your personal life. That's what I'm getting. Let's see what the Mystic Moon Oracle, what is coming through, because I forgot to mention that Mercury now in Taurus is coming up to a sextile aspect to the North Node. and there will be a trine towards the south node in a Virgo. So whatever is going on relative to information, perception, logic, business, collaborating with others, information shared, revealed, is very fated and destined. Let's see what's going on in the psyche. Could be your psyche, it could be your emotions, or it could be the person that you're thinking about. We've got a twin flame connection here. Someone is guided, they've seen the light. We've got the Hermit twice. A lot to do with the South Node in Virgo. And you see, the twin flame, it is a love connection, obviously. Now, I don't know, and this is my opinion, that twin flames can exist between, connecting with other people, which it doesn't have to be a love twin flame. It's like another half. It could be a friendship for me. I suppose you've never heard this before, but there is a study that's been done. And when you're dealing with someone that's very significant in your life, which doesn't have to only be a love connection, right? And you come under the same Venus star point before your birth, you could be a twin flame. So I guess I could be one of the first people that is mentioning that. I'd love to hear your comments. And if you agree, no one really knows, right? But what I see, if this is a love connection, it could be that a twin flame has been triggered by someone going within, right? Seeking the light, seeking the inner light, and then going through awakening. But this could also say that what is blocking a twin flame connection could be the South Node, which is something that is someone's comfort zone, or something that is blocking them moving towards the North Node, the collective North Node, which is Pisces. We've got deception. We've got pride and ego. We've got a fresh start, which is offered here. And we've got the divine feminine. So someone's feminine archetype, feminine side coming through, which is more nurturing, more loving, more patient. Remember what I said, I feel that the Empress, which is a feminine energy, right, is coming through very strongly. And I get it with this, but also with the pride and ego, because this could be a spiritual connection. This could speak to also abundance, financial abundance, right? Because it speaks to riches, the pride and ego. But we see that there's been illusion and confusion here. This could also be self-deception or deception coming from another. So maybe having stayed in the South Node too long, but now, because the divine feminine is very similar to Pisces energy, right? Pisces is the natural 12th house. It's the house of spirit. It's the house of endings, closure. But you see, we've got something that is offered here, and we see with this card, a fresh start. The earth is something that's stable, something that's of value, right? I get Taurus, I get earth energy here, so earth signs. Now the pride and ego could be a little bit of vanity, right? Someone going through self-deception because of a twin flame connection that they needed to understand. They were like pushing back, not wanting to see the truth. And we see that the eclipses happening in the Virgo Pisces axis, right, has brought a lot of truths, a lot of perception of the reality of a situation. And awakenings, I'm going to say here. And we also see the sun in this image, and the sun does bring up Leo. Leo is the heart, matters pertaining to the heart, but also it's like connecting with that inner child, right? Leo is fun, play, flirtation. So this can speak to great abundance, awakening after self-deception or deception coming from others. There are offers on the table here. There's the potential for manifestation here, and maybe things also being revealed that were very hidden. As I said, challenging news and understanding with Mercury squaring Pluto. Okay, lots of revelations concerning deception, not seeing the truth, wearing rose-colored glasses. And there is summer. Again, this is a Leo energy. So it speaks to happiness. It could be pointing towards the warmer months, the summer months. I just want to see what this dilemma, what this news is that will bring openings, right? Two of Wands. Two of Wands, remember, in other decks, it shows that someone is turning their backs on something that they desired. Now they know. They're holding the Ace of Wands. They're looking out into the horizon, wanting to take that journey, right? Wanting to create, following their desires and their passion. We've got allegrezza al cuore, merriment and happiness, but it's the Five of Cups. So it's like needing to release any regrets concerning the past, emotional losses, whether in love, whether in a creative pursuit, project. There's the Superbia again, the male peacock. So you need to trust, you need to believe. And it's the Two of Wands. Some people are making their choice, they're choosing now, and they're following what feels more abundant, which can bring harvest, which can bring a spiritual connection. This is connecting, right? And someone following their heart. Someone also very, there's been a lot of humbling here and a lot of grounding as well. Someone's gone through the understanding that it doesn't matter what they have, the materialistic things in their life. It's more about connecting to, it's more about connection, and it's more about sharing. Sharing is caring. Doesn't matter what you have. If there's a sense of solitude because someone's been in their cave for too long, they've gone deep into their psyche and possibly gone through healing relative to addictive behaviors, unhealthy habits, unhealthy connections. I mean, the devil could also speak to third-party situations, secret love affairs. You cannot, remember we mentioned the Two of Pentacles before, you cannot have 2 feet in 2 different situations. You need to decide. There's only a decision of forward momentum, and this is what I truly want. You cannot be in 2 places at the same time. And that's why this person is tied to the Two of Wands. A decision needs to be made. That's the only way to move forward. And we've got the Queen of Wands, similar to the Queen of Wands. She's holding what is more valuable to her. This is what you need to focus on. And she is the sweetheart, right? She's the sweetheart. And of course it's a water card, so I do get the divine feminine. So it feels like you need to go through what the heart feels. Choose with your heart. Choose with your emotions. What truly makes you happy. Because there are dilemmas here and there are adjustments. Let's take the Mythic Oracle and see what the message, which god comes through, which hero. We've got Poseidon, Earth Shaker, number 18. Wow, okay, which is like the moon, right? 18 is the moon card. Neptune, number 18. Poseidon is the son of Rhea and Kronos, the ruler of water, seas and oceans. He holds the trident, a 3-pronged fork He is known to be both the supporter of the earth as well as the shaker of the earth, and has been said to be the creator of many earthquakes. He is quite a ferocious god who demands honor and respect and is associated with bulls and horses. The message here says, Poseidon is the earth shaker who demands respect. If he is dishonored, he is unstoppable in his fury. The earth may be shaking for you at this time. Old structures that are no longer useful to you are breaking down, and a new knowledge is removing the foundations on which you've built your current place in life. The truth is, the old foundations no longer serve you, regardless of whether you feel ready to face that fact or not, for they would not have crumbled if they were built on anything that was still truly substantial. The bigger picture may not be in sight right now, but when the time is right, the bounty of a new land will be revealed, and it will be up to you to take the next step. This is a time of clearing. The old house has burned to the ground, and it is time to build a new one. You may feel sad, angry, or scared, and you must allow yourself to feel all these emotions. But the truth is, this is an incredibly exciting time, full of new opportunities and possibilities. Enjoy it. Ride the waves into a new phase of your life, for adventure awaits you. Of course, that is a collective message as well as a personal. We've been talking about that. The old story is going. It's time to move forward into the new. And that's why if you're not able to do it on your own, then here comes the earth shaker, Poseidon, Neptune, and makes things crumble beneath your feet. Many times we give Saturn, right, a bad rap that he's such a difficult planet, very karmic, very difficult god, that demands so much hard work from us and maturity. But you know, Neptune is the true challenger. Neptune is much more potent than what Saturn is. Okay, and you'll have to look at where Neptune is in your chart and how Neptune is being activated. Your natal Neptune, but also transiting Neptune. He is transiting the early degrees of Aries, therefore challenging, bringing challenges to the cardinal signs, early born, right? Because squares, the square aspect from the cardinal signs, right? And even the opposition for Libra, because they're opposite Aries, is very challenging. Now, obviously, Neptune, Poseidon, he could be magic, he could be very romantic, his connection to God and spirit, but that's when we have good aspects, flowing aspects to our natal Saturn, our natal Neptune, as well as transiting Neptune and how he affects our birth chart, our placements, right? So it's like black or white. There's no in between with Neptune. He could be very confusing and very deceptive indeed. I think we'll leave it there, my dear friends. I hope that this message resonated with you. I'm very, very excited to let you know that the Mary Lou Cup app is going to include tarot spreads as well, and they're free on the app. So you're going to do the next update. I'll let you know when that will happen. It's happening nevertheless. You'll be able to take a daily card and get the readout, what it means. You could choose 3 cards, or you can even get a 10-card spread. So I'm very, very excited. I think this was what was missing from Mary Lou Cup app, which is available on the Play Store for Android phones at the moment. We're trying to break through into the App Store, and we will very soon. So I think now, with the inclusion of tarot spreads, it's the perfect app. There's coffee reading, there's numerology, there is dream interpretation, and now there is tarot spreads as well, tarot readings. So I'm very, very excited about it. It is being perfected as we speak. So if you've downloaded it already, do check that you've had the last update. But the tarot reading ability on Mary Lou Cup app is the next update. I may make a post for you and let you know when exactly that will be ready for you to update it, okay, since you've already downloaded Mary Lou Cup app. But thank you so much for your love and your support. I know those of you that are on iOS and you've got iPhones, you're waiting. Many of you have mentioned that you cannot wait until it's, available through the App Store. We'll let you know. Okay, we too cannot wait for that. So thank you so much for liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, and helping the message get out. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for your love and support always. We'll be back tomorrow with the love reading. Namaste. Much love.